And Are You Okay is a not safe for work podcast, so any young listeners are discouraged from continuing. However, we literally have no way to track that, so do whatever the hell you want and enjoy the show.
I have Disney Plus on my iPad right here. So I can look at
the ultimate cheat sheet. Every episode Matt has Disney Plus up, and every episode I have IMDb on tab.
Big facts.
Who was that guy? We do the with you fucking Rick meme.
Yep, every time.
Which we always also
teamwork
bring up
makes
every
the
time.
dream work.
You already know though.
Oh man, it's early in the morning. Got my energy drink cracked.
The return of Obi-Wan Kenobi. This takes me back to the Obi-Wan days, Mikey.
Yeah, we were waking up
fucking
4:30,
3:30 in the morning.
I'll never forget the day that you were like, we could still do this at like 7 o'clock
and just stay off the internet.
Y'all recorded at 4 in the morning?
So because we didn't want to, we wanted to like react in real time. So like we would watch the episode at 3:30, like right when it would drop. Like we would watch it.
Shit. Oh, okay.
So because we didn't want to like YouTube or Instagram. People are dickheads like putting up like screen grabs or shit or whatever everything. So it was only 6 episodes. We was like, we could do it like once a week. Like this is like whatever.
After the second episode, we were like,
after the second episode, I was just like, bro, like anyway, we just do this at 7 and just avoid social media.
Just don't check the phone.
Yes, we can absolutely get up at 7, not look at our phones other than to text each other and get on this shit.
Yo, after the episode, Michael's like, such a better idea. Let's just do that.
I was like,
hey, I salute y'all for attempting that though.
Yeah, man.
We were really committed at first, and then Matt was like, we could be really committed or we could be really smart, and I was like, let's do the second one.
Facts. It got done.
It did get done.
You still put it out, and then got
unlike
released.
Obi-Wan, the name of the podcast here is "And Are You Okay?"
A Star Wars
podcast. Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
We are here welcoming our brother from Dragonball for Life podcast.
Hey, folks.
The TrollTollTrav here to give us his take. This is the ultimate merging of our podcasts, and it's because it's anime meets Star Wars.
Is DB Are You Okay?
DB Are You Okay? Star Wars podcast. A Star Wars podcast.
Come on, man. We on the Star Wars
Dragon Star podcast.
Lighten that pack. Lighten that piff. Record red button. And I ain't talking to Sid. Come on, man. Come on.
Let's go. And I was saying before we hit record, I brought back Obi-Wan Kenobi because it's early in the morning. The return. Mace Windu. Rogue One, check it in. I'm so excited.
All the Star Wars nicknames.
All the Star Wars nicknames.
Yeah, well, you could call me Boba Fett.
Hey! Said that draft King Yemma.
Yes, sir.
Trav is infinitely more locked in than I was expecting at 7 a.m.
You should have known. Come on.
Listen, of all the support, all the hard work you put in for DB4 out, it would behoove me if I didn't come with the energy this morning.
Good word.
So happy to have it. I'm going to be fueling off it. So, we're chunking it up a little bit. We're going to do the first 4 episodes of Visions, and then we'll cover the remaining 5 in the next episode. Going to try and have this out before Visions Volume 2 next week on May the 4th.
Trying to work a 9 to 5.
May the 4th be with you.
Adulting be hard sometimes.
Yeah.
We're just trying.
Stop calling me on Microsoft Teams. I need to watch Visions.
Or the dude.
We're just simple
I
men
hate
trying to
that
make our way
damn
through
jingle. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Mikey, YouTube spoiled some shit for me all fucking Fallen Order, bro. I'm devastated.
Oh, dude.
I saw the screen grab. Yo, I wasn't even. You know what it is? So I usually avoid video game spoilers. Like, but I should have known better with a Star Wars fucking game. Like, I think because like Last of Us 2 didn't get spoiled for me. You know, Hogwarts Legacy, nothing. I didn't see nothing in there. Yeah, but so I'm just like, just going through YouTube, just looking for undisputed clips and shit.
Some dickhead puts a screen grab at the ending, like literally 5.
It wasn't the ending, but I feel like it was probably a really important part. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
Wait, real quick, y'all all caught up. Well, I'm not fully caught up on like the last hour special that released, but y'all saw the last season of Attack on Titan, right?
Of course.
Oh, I'm super out on Attack on Titan because I suck.
I'm caught up.
I feel like it's impossible to avoid.
It's like an hour and a half, I think.
I was gonna say I was gonna mention a spoiler from last season that I saw that someone like had shared the manga panel from like they were like, oh man, I'm surprised this didn't happen during the season. Come on, man.
Yeah, some asshole
what are you
shit.
doing?
but like thankfully like it was like so like long before the actual anime dropped. So like when the anime did drop, I forgot that I saw that. But then, like
I'm trying to hope I forget what I saw for falling over.
That's good. I was gonna say there was a My Hero manga spoiler that came out recently that I'm like, well, definitely can't unsee that, and I'm like dreading kind of like. This past season of My Hero Academia was maybe one of my favorite seasons of anime of all time. I couldn't stop watching. I literally I got to episode 6 and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just watch 15 episodes. And then it was 1 a.m. I was like, all right, I can just wake up and watch the rest of it tomorrow. So,
I'm almost getting there, Matt. I finally finished.
I keep waiting for y'all to watch this damn episode that I cried on. Oh, Mike, you did watch it. Yeah, Mike, you did see it. You cried on the episode. You teared up on the episode after.
Yeah, kept me from crying, and then the episode after, I was like, oh shit.
Damn,
do I need to watch the Christmas special?
Nah.
All right.
I just peeped, and I appreciate y'all for letting me be great. Fallen Order was the first game. Jedi Survivor's the second one.
Yeah, but I feel like everyone's calling it Fallen Order too, because it's hard to keep it together.
Nah, they're not getting me. I'm not getting got by the fans. Like, he doesn't even know the games.
Thanks to my employer, I had a Wellness Friday yesterday, so all I did was play Jedi Survivor, and I can confidently say that it's everything the first game was,
and then some
more.
That's what they say.
I've talked to everybody that, like, everyone I know who has played it feels the same way. The stakes feel higher, the story feels better, like, all around it's just kind of like an upgrade, and that's saying something because the first game was pretty damn good. So
yeah, well, I know a major event that happened, so I believe you.
Can't wait till I get there.
Let's take your mind off of Star Wars spoilers by talking about Star Wars Visions.
By looking at something else?
Looking at something. You got glasses.
Take your mind off it, Matt.
I was going to say, TrollTollTrav's got glasses on.
I want to see
the vision.
Something else. the range.
Let's talk about the first Duel, Studio Kamikaze Duga, which is... this is the first thing I ever saw from them, and I gotta say, probably one of the more stylized animations of like the entire volume. But I think a lot of people regard this as one of the best.
They came out swinging.
It has that old Japanese like samurai movie vibe. I really appreciate it, but it's very like it's a battle ronin essentially coming to town. And I think that one of the things that shocked me the most was just the fact that he's like not shying away from the fact that he was a dark side user, but is out there like capping all of the other dark side users.
Right. Yeah. When he first lit up his saber, I was like, I fuck with it. Okay.
The one sick, she said, "Yo, you supposed to be with me. What the fuck you doing?"
Can you imagine like the moment of like, oh shit, my man's, and there's wait, not my man's. Like, thought I was going to sack this town alone. Oh shit.
I mean, hey, dark side users are cold blooded. You know, they don't. He's like, he channeled his hatred into one specific thing, and that was killing other dark side users. So I don't know what, like, it just makes you interested in the history of like, what has this guy been through? Where has he come from? That he's just out here like taking his vengeance on everybody who potentially, like, I guess, like betrayed him or.
Did he fuck with the war?
Yeah, exactly. maybe he like just did come to that. Where he's like, the only way through peace is to end the violence, and so he's but he's like committing violence to do so.
He's a fucking Mordu of Doctor Strange. Too many wizards.
There are too many wizards.
Gotta kill them all.
But Trav, I definitely want to get your pulse check on each of these, because this is maybe not your first like way into Star Wars, but it's definitely most of your exposure, correct? Like, you haven't watched too many of like other like films or stuff like that coming into this.
I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't seen any of the new films. Like,
okay,
like I've seen all like the original films back when like we were growing up, and I have, but like
1 through 6.
Yeah, but I haven't, like, I legit haven't seen any of the new films, and that's because it's been so long. I've been so far removed from the old films. I'm like, well, when I do watch new films, I want to rewatch the old films before I watch the new ones, just to get refreshed on everything. But life is life. I like between all the anime backlog, sports. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to find time these days.
Super backlogged on anime. Y'all been watching Demon Slayer, the new episodes?
Listen,
it's like 3 in.
I'm just catching up on My Hero. I gotta work my way through things.
Nah, you got like certain shows that's just like, even if you have like a backlog list of shit to watch, like, all right, I have to watch this one.
Right.
That's one on there for me.
I have a few friends who are ready to physically assault me if I don't finish Jujutsu Kaisen next. So
I haven't. See, that's a show that I haven't personally started yet. Like, so
well, there we go. Now I have one up on you.
You got one on me. You got one up on me.
Watch it. It's phenomenal.
No, I've heard. So with that, I don't know, something about it didn't like catch my attention, like with like the trailers and stuff like that. But my cousin, shout out to Vic, he's like a real good barometer for like animes that. So I think we all kind of have this because like we're so deep rooted in the culture, like. The commercial hits don't really appeal to me out the gate. Like the shit that everyone's like, oh, you have to watch this. Like, do I have
Put your IPA down, man.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Watch Jujutsu Kaisen.
No, I'm going to. I'm not going to. I mean, I am going to. I'm not going to watch
anime elitist. Put you.
Yeah, I did a little bit.
Your favorite band is now mainstream.
And I give up on them. Like, man, fuck where it's fluffy.
Imagine Dragons' newest release isn't that good. Yeah, actually, if your favorite band was Imagine Dragons, I don't think we'd be friends.
I remember back when no one liked them.
Yeah, no, they were annoying when they first dropped.
Yeah, they didn't. I mean, they came out swinging. They had that first song was kind of fire. Like they first couple.
When they quick story. When they first came out, I was like, oh, this band's pretty cool. But then we drove down to Panama City for spring break, and my one friend, we were taking it in shifts, and my friend was driving like the shift at like 3 a.m. and so we would go like someone driving, someone in the passenger seat to stay up, and then someone in the back to go to sleep. So this was my sleep-in, and bro, he is singing Imagine Dragons, the first album, which I thought was like, at the time I was like, oh, I like this album, at the top of his lungs, and like, I'm not gonna sit here and like say like, yo, shut the fuck up, because like, yo, you're whatever you gotta do to stay awake to drive. I'm like, all right, whatever that, but like,
I'd rather be tired than dead, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't even like, how like sometimes people will they'll sing lyrics and just kind of like say them because they know they can't sing. He was trying to emulate their voices, and ever since then I've hated them. And now that they get played everywhere, can't stand them even more. So yeah.
You're listening to And Are You Okay?
Star Wars
and Dragons Haters podcast.
Oh yeah, not to go on.
Oh no, we always.
But anyways, but yeah, no.
Anywho,
I had
anyways we say here.
I actually, before going into what I thought was rewatching Visions, I had actually only seen the first 2 episodes and didn't get a chance to like see. So, the rest of the episodes after episode 2 are going to be supremely brand new to me. But I do remember watching the Duel, and I was like, oh, and like this is also too. I didn't know that they were going to be split into separate stories for each episode. So when I saw the Duel, I was like, oh yeah. I'm locked in. And then the second one, I was like, oh, this is like an anime filler episode. Like,
shit's ass, bro.
So then
number 2 sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Number 2 is definitely my least favorite. So and I remembered, I was like, this is why I watched the first 2 episodes, because I watched the second and I was like,
I'm good.
yeah. I was like, it's split into different stories. I was like, but I hope that they're not all like this. And then obviously this morning when I watched 3 and 4, The Village Bride, love that one. So yeah, but yeah, Tatooine Rhapsody, yeah, y'all can put that back in the recycling bin.
How dare you put dirt on Freddie Mercury's name? the disrespect.
Also, the complete waste of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's talent. Completely
It was like that was like your like that episode felt like a stereotypical anime trope filler episode with like the music, the feel good vibe, but at the same time it's not really a feel good situation. And like
but you know it's funny, Trav, kind of to that point, like with a filler episode, had that concept been like a show, I feel like it might be a dope show, and that would have just been an episode like, yeah, last night's episode was trash, bro.
Like there was parts of the story where I was like, I want to know more outside of his nut ass band. Like I want to see more of the imprisonment and everything else. But yeah, it was alright. It was alright.
I think it's part of the I have like a love-hate relationship with this series because there are definitely a few of them that I'm like, I wish this was a whole show. The Village Bride
that was actually going to be one of my questions for all you guys on the panel. Out of and if any of the episodes 5 through 9 that I haven't seen yet is going to apply to your answer, then you can give a little detail. But which of these episodes would you have liked to seen fleshed out as a full show?
The Ninth Jedi.
Yeah, the Ninth Jedi is definitely.
Okay,
that's the one.
1000%.
He's on that one.
That's the one that you didn't get.
We won't go like in depth, but yeah, the Ninth Jedi is definitely one that I think has the most potential to be a show. I know that like they did do some expanded material, and the Duel got some like a novel attached to it about the characters. I unfortunately had not read it, so.
Okay,
I like the
I think
Lop and Ocho. I fuck
Lop
with
and Ocho
too.
definitely feels like that. It could be as well.
Which episode was that?
Episode 8.
Yeah.
Okay. I felt like the Duel. At first, I was definitely gonna say the Duel, but then I was like, actually, that probably would be better fit if it was like a movie.
You know what? It gives
short
me
series.
The history of Trunks type vibes, where it's like it's perfect as a special.
Don't pander because Trav's here bringing up Trunks.
That's what it reminds me of, though.
A Star Wars rocket.
You know that's my guy.
So there's some cool things in the Duel that I really want to just touch on real quick. The town defenders that are like, I feel like this has kind of like, and they do this in Star Wars a lot, but the Seven Samurai vibes. When all the different like aliens come out to defend the town, it's just a lot of really unique takes on some classic Star Wars aliens. We have a Trandoshan who's got 2 swords. He's looking like a
Trandoshans.
Total beast out there. There's a guy riding in a probe droid that has like 4 samurai swords, and I was like, this is the type of shit that I would not be upset if they threw this into live action. But they have like the ability to be a little more flexible and get a little more out there. And then there's that one droid with the Gatling gun who somehow has more emotion than the rest of them, which is always just funny to see. When the droids emote more than the actual like characters do.
I would love to see that as a video game.
Yeah.
Like that,
well, I think that the antagonist of it, the Sith Lord who does come out with her lightsaber umbrella, screams video game boss to me.
Yeah, she was lit. That's the joint you get frustrated with. Like,
I was about to say, I was like, that's the type of boss you throw your control at the screen at your entertainment.
You know,
station.
that's the boss that shout out to Fallen Order. What was the final one before you had to run from Darth Vader?
I literally will. I don't.
No,
even
Malicos is trash, but I was gonna say I feel like she's the type of boss battle where it's like it's 2 parts. Like you beat her, you think it's done, and there's a cutscene, and she comes back like that's when she opens up the umbrella, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yo, those type of boss battles are so stressful because like you think you wipe off your hands, you're like because they're all sweating, and then
you're like, oh thank God,
and then they reappear, and then they got a full health bar while you still are like at 50% or less, and you're like, yo, what the fuck?
Give me a chance to heal.
That moment where you like beat them for like the first segment of the fight, and you like you said, Trav, you let out an exhale. You like, oh, thank God, because and then like the cutscene comes, and you put the controller down. You like, oh yeah, let's enjoy this art.
You gotta pick it back up,
and then you start seeing some shit that starts making you think this not over. You like, no, I don't. You like, please don't say I have to fight her again. Oh,
and when you die, you have to go back to the beginning.
Yo, they don't let you start back at the cutscene. You got to begin all over again.
That shit.
Oh man!
And then you have a new benchmark. You're like, all right, just make it past the first part of the fight. Like, if I can get to that, I can win, yo.
And then sometimes eventually gets to the board. You're like, all right, YouTube, how to beat.
And it's like you contemplate lowering the difficulty, but you're like, I ain't no bitch, bro. I ain't gonna do it.
And isn't it like? And don't you like drag your feet to the point of like, I don't want to look up how to beat, but like, yo, I got things to do in life. I gotta get past this. And like,
there is a boss in Fallen Order that had me looking stuff up because I counted. I'd lost 60 times to this guy before I.
Damn. Malik was I got past the fucking the
second
apprentice.
Sister,
yeah, the second sister. Yo, I hated that fight. Yo,
that
that took me back to like rage quitting as a child. Like I was just like, usually I'm pretty even killed about video games. I'm like, all right, let me just try again. That one I was like, yo, fuck this game, bro. Like, I contemplated walking away, putting it down for a little bit. Like I'll come back in like a month. I was like,
don't worry, Matt, there's plenty of things to kill you in Jedi Survivor, so
I believe it.
I
I'm
died
excited.
to a Wampa like 8 times in a row yesterday, so
hey. That wet
ass Mandalorian.
There you go.
Act like I forgot.
That's the one.
All right, so let's just. I mean, we did touch on Tatooine Rhapsody a little bit, but I want to give credit to the Studio Colorido. They did. I do like the animation style. It's kind of chibi, but like
it reminded me of Metabots. Like the style.
Yeah. I definitely. You know what it is? It's because like the guitarist or bassist looks like a Metabot, so that's definitely there.
1000%.
This is also the only short of the entire Visions to like really reference characters and places that we know. They were like at the Boonta Eve Arena from the Phantom Menace. Boba Fett's in it. Jabba's in it. So it was kind of like cool to see them in like a very stylized different thing, and they even bring back Tamora Morrison to voice Boba Fett, which is great.
They put in a lot of talent and work for this to be the most mid of
that
all.
episode.
That's kind of like you hit the nail on the head. Like it's like the filler episode of an anime, and while that's all like well and good, it's just like I feel like it's a interesting premise with a weird delivery. Like I don't understand like why they chose to do this one, but hey, I mean,
like the whole like overall concept of the episode felt like the ending could have been like that. It could have been used as an ending, and then like they could have expanded upon like everything else that was in there. That was a lot more interesting to me than just the focus on the band and all that.
Yeah. No, I feel the same. And it's also like you get the start of it is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because like you have a character who's like obviously tortured, or not like he has like a tortured past, I guess, because he survived the Clone Wars. And then you don't dive into it at all. He's just more concerned about his friend, which is still a valid thing. But that's something that you want to see, like over.
Like you said, fuck your friends.
Fuck your friends.
Yeah. It's funny. That's kind of the allure of these, because it's like all of these are like is all brand new content, so there's like no point of reference. So it's like when these episodes would start, you would like go into it like, oh, so this is dope, and then 15 minutes later, like, oh, that was fire. But with Tatooine Rhapsody, it was just like, okay, like in the style, okay, it's a little campy, and then when it ended, I was like, that was it.
Right.
You walk away, you feel like your time has been wasted.
I was like, all right, 3, you better come back strong.
and I think from an animation standpoint, perfect transition, man. The Twins by Studio Trigger.
I mean, I do this for real.
I think it's the coolest looking animation style.
That's my favorite. Twins is probably we've talked about this, Mikey. Like, Twins is probably my favorite one.
I have beef with this episode, but
I know. That's why I said we've talked about this.
Okay, all right, I'll fucking. So
he said, I'll do it. He said, I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
Let's just start off. Mikey. Honestly, I really like Alison Brie and I really like Neil Patrick Harris, and their voiceover in this episode to me is so soft. It feels weak as fuck. And these are two actors that I respect.
Ooh.
And I just think that they I can't take them seriously. I don't know if it's because the script shoehorns as many Star Wars references as possible into it, but it's just not
Star
even
Wars. It's
believable.
campy. That's what we do.
And the thing is Star Wars is campy, but the fact that I feel this way, someone who's a Star Wars
says a lot.
and, every single facet of things, I'm talking people off the ledge when they're like, "This last episode of The Mandalorian sucked," and I'm like, "Let me tell you why it didn't."
Let me tell you something, brother.
This episode of The Twins has fantastic animation, very Gurren Lagann. Right?
Yes.
Looks, and it's the same studio, so they absolutely nailed it. The aesthetic is great. I do like that they try to fit in a lot of different references, like, because it was essentially an amalgamation of like, what is Star Wars to us, and they threw everything at it. But when you hear like Alison Brie's like, she's like, and I will be the dark side, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, this is like, I've seen you act in a couple of different things, and never in a million years did I feel like you being angry was going to sound so terrible. And then Neil Patrick Harris is like, my line delivery is as flat as my face, and it's like, okay, cool. I couldn't get into it from that aspect, but
it was kind of like as if they didn't know if they didn't know how to strike the balance of, am I voicing for a Nickelodeon TV show or an anime?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because, and it's weird because we're obviously I'm watching this again for our recording, but I'm coming off of My Hero Academia, which has like some of the best voiceover.
Oh man,
I mean,
you set yourself up there.
Yeah, no, Trav and Matt just recorded an interview with Chris Sabat, who does All Might in My Hero Academia. Was also Vegeta and Piccolo in Dragon Ball, but so go listen to that interview. But his performance as All Might in season 6 of My Hero Academia, like, even though he doesn't have a huge part in it, every time All Might is speaking, it's like, it's with this reverence, and like, you know, there's a lot of weight to his performance, and it feels so like much more real than this here. And I feel like I prefer when the voice actors take things a little more seriously. Like, it definitely depends on the vibe of the show, but like, this is a battle between a brother and a sister, and like, it felt like they were trying to be campy.
Yeah.
So
in terms of the animation and battle itself, I did love that final battle between Kare and what's her name? Ann?
Kare and
Kare and
Ann,
NPH.
And Studios.
But no, to that point about the anime, I mean, not to cat for him, but I'll cat for him because NPH, that's my fucking guy. Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
I do love
what?
I mean, as someone who's watched How I Met Your Mother several times.
Yeah, challenge accepted. But like when, cause like Trav was saying, like when it got to the battle, like the tonally, like that episode started, I was like, oh, this is fun, and especially coming off of Tatooine Rhapsody, I was like, oh, this is a fun one. And then this shit went dark, and I was like, oh wait. So I mean, so maybe, I don't know, like if they see the storyboards before they will do the voiceovers. I know sometimes people just record the audio and then it's like drawn around that, and sometimes like they'll have it up with no sound and they gotta like sync their lips and whatnot, what have you, because you know we be interviewing voice actors now in Dragonball, you know what I'm saying? So we be getting the inside scoops. We be getting the inside scoops. So it's like, I don't know which came first, the chicken or the egg, but I could definitely, like, especially like when you hear MPH's voice, she's like, oh, this is gonna be like a fun episode. Alison Brie, you know, married. Shout outs to Dave Franco, you know, one of the good last Francos we got, the only Franco we got left. Like, people don't forget. He said, dude, that was the third grade. People don't forget.
What did he say? He said, he said, dude, I hate high school sports. They're so fascist.
He's like, nice car. What do you get? 2 miles a gallon on that thing? But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like, if it's Neil Patrick Harris. Like, he is camp personified. Like, true. That's kind of like his outlet. Or whatnot. But yeah, but I really liked this. The fight, the whole fight scene at the end, and then like the final shot and everything. It reminded me of like the scene in The Last Jedi where they hyper died like through the Star Destroyer. It gave me that vibes, which is like probably visually one of my only favorite parts that I liked about that movie. one of the few. But yeah, the twins was my favorite one. The twins and the Ninth Jedi are like tied for like my favorite for sure.
I do think that's like the fantastical style of things, and like it really does not bother me that they're out in space with no helmets on. Like it's one of those things where it's like it lends to the story, right?
Leia did it. It's if you're a twin, you don't need helmets in space.
That's how it works in Star Wars. If you're a twin, you don't need helmets in space.
Everybody knows that.
But it's definitely one of those things where it's like they just did a good job of grabbing a bunch of different references, and I almost felt like throughout watching the show, it was like there was a contractual obligation from the American dubbing, like groups that they had to say "punch it." Because they say it like every fucking episode.
You need any Star Wars property. You either need Punch It, Wizard, or Dank Ferrick. That's it's in the contract.
You're also contractually obligated if you're listening to this when you go to Galaxy's Edge. If you ride the Millennium Falcon ride, if you're in the pilot seat, you better, or if you're in the co-pilot seat, you better say "punch it" to the pilot. Just saying.
or tell
like
the
a
rest
sign
of
that
them.
has like the phrase that you must say on the ride.
Instead of you must be this tall to enter, it's like you must say "punch it."
Or like before the ride
don't
starts,
say it, you'll be ejected out of your seat.
Before the ride starts, like before you start to kick off, you gotta like tell people how you made the Kessel Run 12 parsecs. You gotta let them know. Yeah? Like, guys, will be great. I did the Kessel Run 12 parsecs, bro. We'll be fine. We'll be fine for sure. But the one thing that I did really like about the twins is because these are shorts, so I like how in 18 minutes they squeezed in like that classic trope, like, oh, like, am I really fighting for the right side, or oh, is this really the way? Like, I liked how they squeezed NPH's twin, like his inner turmoil with what they were doing as evildoers, ne'er-do-wells who ne'er do well. But like they got all that in 18 minutes. So I was like, you feel me? They got all that in 18 minutes, and it didn't feel like rushed. Like I was satisfied with the story, like from start to finish. I went through the emotional roller coaster with NPH twin, whose name I don't know. I don't be knowing.
I think he's Kare, and then
okay.
He's Kare.
Annie or like Annie or something like that is what else.
So Carl and Annie. So gotcha. They just tried to put some Star Wars spin on it.
I do think that and we'll talk about a few of the other ones, but it's wild how they're able to fit such strong narratives into some of these shorts. And this is one that I do think it was like, while it was a lot of over the top stuff, like the conflict between characters was very present, not just in the battle, but like in the dialogue and what they were talking about, and what their visions for things were, and quite literally the fight of like good versus evil was here. I don't want to like be pushing through these and like not giving them their proper time, but I feel like the Village Bride is going to have me talking a lot. So
I mean, they're 15 to 20 minute episodes. How much can we really?
That's true. I'm a simp for this episode. I can't.
It was so good.
So many things I love about the Village Bride. Travel. I'll let you start off, but I just want to give Studio Kinema Citrus their props on doing this. Huge fan of the line work not all being black. Like, it was like the hair has like blue outlines for some people and red and green, and it's like visually it just like feels like a lot different than some of the other anime I've watched, and I'm hoping that I see more by the studio in a mainstream sense, or at least in like a recommended anime to me that follows the same style, because as an artist I think it's one of the most unique but crisp looking animation styles in the whole series. So Trav, definitely give me your pulse on this. What did you think about it? What did you love? Anything you hated? And then we'll keep talking through it.
Did you guys all like leave this episode feeling as if like, yo, that really felt like a prequel to what could be a series?
Yes,
That's how I felt when it ended, because she pulls out her lightsaber, and like I thought that by far was the coolest looking lightsaber, because it was
100%.
It was like a katana.
It's
the light blade instead of the dark blade.
Yeah. And like
the day blade.
And the thing was like, even though you kind of could see that she was gonna eventually come around and be on their side, but like just the build up to it, and and also too, all these episodes are short / like regular anime length episode, but this one out of them all actually felt like it had like the story felt well paced to me. Like the other episodes so far up to this point kind of felt like, we're jumping in at a point in the timeline, and you can kind of try to piece together in your mind what you think has happened, what led the characters to here. But for the Village Bride, I thought that from start to finish, I didn't have like too many questions in terms of like, I wonder where, like, what happened here. But I did feel like, if this were to be a prequel to what could be a series for the Village Bride, then I was like, all right, that's, you know, if they wanted to just start from, hey, watch episode 4 of season 1 of Star Wars Visions and then start the Village Bride, the anime, and I would be, all right, cool, I'm ready.
Yeah, show's fire.
I did literally in my notes I have written down the protagonist has a really unique design with an amazing take on a combination of katana and lightsaber, so I'm really glad that you brought that up. I need a video game where I can unlock that weapon. Yeah.
Like I need a MMO. I can create a character that I could have a light blade.
Yeah.
The Dayblade. It's the Dayblade.
I feel like that's like a weapon you'd find in like Phantasy Star Online.
That's facts. That's super facts.
Matt, any big takeaways for you from the Village Bride?
I'm just letting you know now. Prepping for Cospalooza Chap 2 Version 2 Part 2. If anybody cosplays as her, you win.
She wins.
You're winning. So if
you're just gonna tell everyone else don't come on stage.
Yeah, facts. Like anybody who's showing up to Cospalooza Part 2 Chapter 2 Version 2. That's just gonna be the name. Part 2, Chapter 2, Version 2.
What was the one girl's name? Saku. She knew all along. She was ready to fight.
Facts. Big facts. Big facts.
She said, "I ain't here to sit around and wait. We gotta come to the source. Fuck this bald-headed motherfucker."
He said, "The salt, the one from the sauce."
He ugly as shit anyway.
Yeah, no, I loved I don't really have any gripes. Trav kind of laid it out perfectly, but yeah, just like the character design, the anime flow, like you were saying, like kind of additive to Trav's part. Like it was very fleshed out, but it felt like there was lore. Like there was just like there was like backstory that I wanted to know, like about like that planet and like their customs, or even like the Jedi, like what she had going on before she got here. Like I was just like, I want to know more. I was invested. Like I want to know more about these characters.
Get that scar on her face.
How did she get that scar?
And it's so funny because one of the things that I picked out as well is like I really like how it highlights how different civilizations perceive the Force within Star Wars, because it's something that has been explored, but it's not explored often. So, Trav, you'll probably forget this if you ever start going into Rebels, but this is similar to me, Matt, with the Lasat having their version of like the Force and like embracing that side of their culture. The Majina from the Village Bride feels like the same thing, and like you get to see the memories of the planet, which is really cool conceptually. Feels like a Force vision, so it doesn't feel like out of place by any means. It also makes you wonder, like, okay, well, are the people on this planet like all connected to it in a way that's, you know, maybe the Night Sisters, for example, they all have that kind of like spiritual connection to their aspect of the Force, even though it's through magic. Like, are these guys all Force sensitive? Like, you know, could they be the start of a Jedi Order? There's a lot there. And then also shout out to Christopher Sean, who he's the husband of the Village Bride, but he's also no stranger to Star Wars. He's the main character, Kazuto Ziona, in a very polarizing Star Wars series called Star Wars Resistance, and is
that a controversial one in the community?
It's just like, I think it's one of those things where it's like I never recommend it unless someone's like, my favorite characters are like the pilots. Because if you're really into that, then you love the show. But without it, I think
it's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus. It didn't get, you know what, for a show about pilots, it didn't get its chance to fly.
That's fine.
Okay.
Let me put it that way. They ended it pretty soon because I think that the audience wasn't there on Disney XD, and it was like in that weird merger time, like before Disney Plus came out.
Disney XD.
But it has some hard.
We still got the old watermarks on here. Yo, guys, don't peep just yet. The transition
the little gray robot thing with one eye. That was JetX. That was JetX, not Disney XD.
Oh yeah. It's wild though, because the cast they were able to tap in Elijah Wood for that show. Donald Faison is like a main character in it. So like they had a lot of cool voice actors in the show. They just
Donald Faison doesn't get his flowers for like how consistent he's been like actively working.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's like through our whole childhood. Like he's just like been actively working.
Low key, he might have like I feel like if I were wanted to be an actor, I feel like I might want his life, because to me, it almost feels like he can just live a normal life
and still be like a successful act. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts, though. That's facts.
I was like, I kind of would want Donald Faison's career.
Not mad at it.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's a lot of people who think that Finn from the sequel trilogy is heavily influenced or was thought of because of his contributions, Donald Faison's contributions to the Robot Chicken specials, where he plays the Black Stormtrooper.
Shit!
Robot Chicken,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and the Star Wars specials are phenomenal, and every single one that Donald Faison is on, I can't stop laughing from start to finish. He's so fucking funny in those specials. But yeah, there's a faction of the fandom that are Finn wouldn't exist without you. You're the first Black Stormtrooper, and it's holy shit. That's kind of if that is what inspired them, I'm all for it.
That'd
honestly.
be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
All right, I'm here with it. But shout out to Donald Faison. Come on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, Don't chat
come on the podcast.
I know you want
come
to.
On.
He loves it.
Look,
Get out
come
those
on,
T-Mobile home internet commercials, and come hang with us.
Right.
So we know you're still getting royalties off of Scrubs when it airs on Oxygen Network.
Remember the Titans? He's still getting all that bread. Still getting all that bread. You know what's funny? Remember the Titans was the first time I can remember.
PD.
Yeah, PD. He said football's fun. Zero fun, sir. But Remember the Titans was probably the first time I became cognizant as a kid watching a movie that oh, these people are a lot older than what they play. That was the first time I had that.
Especially what's his name?
Wait, these are grown ass men Wood Harris and fucking Donald Faison and shit. Because I remember if you go back and watch, I want to say it might have been the intro scene to when PD and all them when the team was showing off. Donald Faison clearly has a tattoo on his bicep that's covered up with makeup, but you can see it still. And I remember as a kid seeing that oh, he's in high school and has a tattoo. What? Not thinking thinking about it. Yeah, because I didn't. You know when you're a kid and you watch a movie the first thing that you see somebody in is what you know them as. So I know y'all can appreciate this. I had no idea that Viggo Mortensen was an actor before Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Didn't know that he was in a super established actor. Not even just an actor, a mega player in Hollywood.
Hey, I thought Lord of the Rings was his twins only did Family Matters.
Not even Full House. You're not even gonna give them their actual.
Full House. This is funnier.
Full House.
I feel like they might have made a cameo on Family Matters. That's what I'm saying.
No, you know what? I hope that is. We're gonna create this fake narrative for Travis.
Listen, Matt and I, we on a black-owned podcast, so I'm always thinking of black sitcoms.
I feel you.
But y'all got it.
I feel you. I'm rolling.
Full House. Shout out to John Stamos.
Look, I'm about to look it up, see if they was on there.
Yeah, they might have.
I'm gonna die.
I really feel like they might have made a cameo.
Easter egg. You're gonna find some BuzzFeed article. Easter eggs about Full House you didn't know.
Did you know that the Olsen twins made
the Olsen twins were part of a daycare? Oh yeah, Mike. Let's get back to the.
I gotta give you this really quick.
Oh yeah.
So they weren't on Family Matters, but they used the Family Matters set. They shared the same.
All right, set. You know what? I was onto something.
Yeah, they shared the same set. Hilarious. And it even says the description and because it's a YouTube video. Part of the script description says the untold story. So it's
hey, you know what, Olsen twins? Come on the podcast. Tell us about your secret involvement with Family Matters.
Pull up.
I need to know.
They was executive vice producers of the show.
You're listening to Urkel, Are You Okay?
Yeah.
A 90s podcast.
Yeah.
A 90s podcast. But the Village Bride.
Different shows.
Why did I name it Urkel, Are You Okay instead of Did I Do That?
Did I do that?
Urkel, Are You Okay? That's a smash. We'll bleep that out. Only cover 90 shows.
Yep.
Hey, we said we're gonna build a podcast network. Unlike some people.
We expect.
This ain't
Pow,
this ain't
pow.
affiliated with that. This is our own.
Bow. It's Bow Energy.
Bow Energy here, but
sponsored
pew,
by
pew.
Bow Energy. I love it. I love it.
All right, I think we have sufficiently covered the first 4 episodes of this. And
Are you? I just want to make sure, Mikey, you got everything you wanted to say for Village Bride, because
I know.
I think,
just give it to us. Give it to us.
I think I do. No, but like, okay, so let's talk about one other cool action beat.
I knew you had more.
Random sniper guy he throws his helmet and then
do
it. It like shoots off and fires into the like Millennium Falcon type looking ship and blows up. Like that was fucking awesome.
that was tough.
It takes out all the droids at the same time, which is like a callback to them being controlled by a central control unit, which is also great. They all eat it, and I love how the like bald-headed villain is like, "You can't stop me," and he gets so. I think that he gets his arm cut off and just dies of embarrassment.
Facts. Because losing an arm in Star Wars is like that's second nature to most people. It's just kind of part of the risk. Yeah, he's like.
It's like that James Franco meme where he's about to be hung. He said, "First time."
That's for sure.
That's 2 Franco references in one podcast.
Hey, that's crazy.
He don't need to come on the podcast.
Nah,
Dave can come. Dave can come. He's like, sounds like Smith, sound like a little whiny bitch.
Dave turns on his camera and we just see James in the background. Hey guys, I came to join too.
we gonna click stop. Record, like, oh, shit.
Get this Harry Osborn looking motherfucker off my screen.
It's like, oh shit. But before we close, I do have to admit, the Flash trailer look alright.
Yo, we was just talking about this yesterday.
I said, yo, Ezra a nasty nigga, but that shit looks.
So look, shout outs to our AOX family. So we were together yesterday in Buffalo Wild Wings, watching the Lakers game, and the Flash trailer had came on, and Jordan was just like, how does he still have a job, but they're trying to cancel Jonathan Majors? And Natanya didn't know that she didn't know that what Ezra Miller's name was. She didn't know what his name was. So Jordan was just like,
it's their name. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Their name. My apology. Even though I shouldn't be apologizing to you. You're a nasty person. But
listen, Ezra, we gonna call you what we want to call you.
Ezra terrorized Hawaii.
Right. Yeah. Facts. Of all places. Nasty. Of all places, you terrorize Hawaii. Such a serene place to cause havoc, wreak mayhem. But Natanya wasn't aware that their name was Ezra Miller. So me and Jordan are just talking like, how's Ezra Miller have a job still? And like the trailer's playing as we're talking it, and she's just like, which one's Ezra Miller? And we're like, The Flash. She was like the main character, because we was like explaining like what they were doing, and she was just like, because you would think when you tell this story, you're thinking maybe it's a support character. Maybe Ezra Miller plays a support character. And it was just like, you know what? This person isn't featured enough for us to scrap the movie. But when we was like, The Flash, she was like, that's the main character that did all that and this movie's still coming out? He was like...
It's genuine shame because they're my favorite part of the Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, easily. And apparently their performance is top notch, but you can tell the WB understands the optics of the situation because the second Flash trailer they put out looks more like a Batman trailer than a Flash trailer.
1000%. It's Michael fucking Keaton. Yeah. Of course you're going to put the light on him.
So are they no longer going to reprise their role for future Flash
I
movies?
feel like they need to do the Flashpoint paradox and just have him fuck up everything. And that's how they reset the DC.
And that's how they
We'll see what happens. I also think that Jonathan Majors is not going to get fired.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think Marvel's going to stand beside. I mean, it's not looking good for him outside of Marvel, but it's fucked up because
if it ends up that he only has Marvel, that's one thing. But I'm sure Terrence Howard would probably want to get.
Let me get back, man.
He said, "Don, let me get it back."
We're about to trash Terrence Howard on the.
We got a multiverse. I could be Rhodey again, man.
we regularly trash Terrence Howard here now.
Yeah,
really.
But it's kind of. I hope because. I don't know what happened in that car, so I'm not going to speculate. So pre the actual facts coming out, I'm a Jonathan Majors fan. So it's like, watching him like potentially get dropped from a lot of shit, it's just like, oh dang. Especially, you know, being a black man, it's like we had one. Like we had a good one. He was tearing up Hollywood. We were excited. But there were talks, and again, it's all fan casting and rumors. But you know, Mikey, we had talked about them bringing in Iron Lad in some capacity, and whether or not they would just have Jonathan Majors, like, you know, shave a little bit, right. Like, and just have him play like that role as well. It's like the younger Kang. Nathaniel Richards is Iron Lad's real name, right? I believe, if my memory serves me correctly. But after all this has happened, there was like some fan rumblings. I don't know if there's any credence to this, of having like Damson Idris, who played off Snowfall, like have him playing Iron Lad and just kind of like a soft recast, because you know it's like he's one of the variant, like a younger variant, and then just kind of like extend off him. It's like, I wouldn't be mad at that. I still would want Jonathan Majors to stay, but I wouldn't be mad at Damson Idris playing Iron Lad.
Damson Idris is a really good actor.
I wouldn't be mad at him playing Iron Lad.
Matt, you're gonna have to close this one out for me.
I got you, bro.
I unfortunately have this hard stop here, which is such a fucking corporate America thing to say on this Annie Are You Okay Sports podcast. But I have something I can't miss, unfortunately. So I'm gonna drop.
I got you, brother.
Here.
I got you.
Matt, close this out. Trav, thank you so much for joining us. I'm looking forward.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to do 5 to 9.
Look, Mikey, you gonna get off here. I'm gonna play whether you watch it or you read it.
Complete DB4L takeover.
Hostile takeover.
Hey man, I expect nothing less from you.
No, I got you, bro.
All right, love you guys, and we'll talk soon on the next.
Love you, Mikey.
Of Annie Are You Okay?
Shout out to super producer Mikey, a Star Wars podcast. Deuces.
Close us out, Matt.
Was there any other things that you kind of wanted to go with? I know you're gonna binge 5 through 9. I'm super excited for you to watch episode 5. The Ninth Jedi. I think that's like the longest one too, and it's the one that deserved to be the longest one. It's
okay.
Super duper fire. But Trey, I'm so excited that you're now joining us on this Star Wars journey. I know you're not gonna be able to get to everything because it's so much.
But y'all just if y'all can just let me know, like, for like things like this, of like, hey, Trav, you should probably watch this.
Oh no, we'll definitely key you in on the important shit.
I'll do that. My closing thought though is that Dana White got caught hitting his wife in 4K and still has a job. So,
hey. Tyreek Hill, Floyd Mayweather. I ain't trying to snitch or nothing.
Like, I'm not saying, like, you know, like, I'm just pointing out things that have happened.
No, I feel
That's
you.
it. That's
I feel you.
But can't wait to talk about 5 to 9. I appreciate y'all having me on Annie Are You Okay? And I love the crossover because, Matt, we've talked about this forever, about merging everything.
DB, Are You Okay?
And it's yes.
Yeah, we're like you said, Trey. Like we are building the Avengers of the nerddom podcasting world, and this is only the beginning.
Do it.
This is only the beginning. I'm super excited. But signing off for Darth Plagueis Wise himself, the human holocron, Mr. Mikey Campbell, aka Super Producer Mikey, all his aliases. I have been Broby1 Kenobi, Mace Windu, Mr. Matthew Porter, aka Matty Ice, here with my DB4L co-host and Dende One, going from the lookout to the cookout. And this has been Annie Are You Okay? A Star Wars podcast. And I believe this is dropping on Wednesday. So if it is, may the 4th be with you.
And for Annie Are You Okay? Y'all can know me as Boba Fett or the Sith that rocks Kith.
Let's get it. He says Smack Talker Skywalker. Ah! We out. Rogan checking out.
Darth Vader the hater. And I'm out.
Deuces.